So, I bet you've been wondering where we've been. Well,
start questioning yourself.
can't make it work.
You can't make it work. It's hard.
Oslo got his first haircut and then it grew out and now he looks like Patrick Swayze from Point Break. So it is sometime in July. I don't even remember the day anymore. We last left you with booking our tickets and we are still steadily working through all of this. I'll just quickly show you what we're kind of working on now and how much more we've got to clear out because it's a lot. So it is officially around 6 weeks until we leave. We've put a lot of boxes together for parents. We've tried to be as little as possible because we really don't want to give them too much. But we've got our tiny box of Christmas decorations, photo albums, memory things and baby things. Over there is the same sort of thing there. This is now empty and is going over into this box. This is for my mum, so it's got like wedding dress, photo frames, just keepsake things that I really wouldn't want to let go ever, just in case obviously the worst happens and we come back, or if we don't, we can get them shipped out and have them back with us. There's also other things in the midst. That's rubbish. There are suitcases, and as you can see, we still have like a lot to do.
Morning.
Morning.
Let's go car boot saying.
Yeah.
So it is now the 21st of July, and to say we've maybe left a little bit of accommodation booking late, I don't know. Like we're really new to this traveling thing. There's a lot of advice out there to say book it early. There's other advice out there to say, you know, don't do that because you get better deals. But we just wanted to be kind of safe and get at least 1 week's worth of stay ready for us when we get to the Philippines. So we're landing in Pasay, which is Terminal 3 in the Manila airport, and we've been trying to find accommodation for the 5 of us that also has a late check-in because we will not be landing until quarter to 11, which meant that a lot of the accommodation we were looking at we couldn't have because the check-in times were way too early, and the latest time was like 10 or 9 o'clock, and we're not going to be there until probably almost 12 o'clock midnight. We're also a family of 5. We have 3 children and they are all too young to have their own room at this moment in time in their lives. So 2 rooms was not an option unless we split ourselves up and went into separate rooms. That would also mean that the price of staying would be a lot higher. So we tried to find hotels. We looked on all sorts, on Google. We had to also find the area we were more interested in. I'll pop a map up now on where we were looking at. It was like almost like a square between like Pasay, the Mall of Asia, kind of that area, Makati and BGC, kind of that square footage of area. It turns out we couldn't really find anywhere that was cheap enough for us to stay, that also had enough beds for us to stay in. So we've gone a little bit lower down to, I don't remember what's called. We don't know, like we'll put everything up on the screen for you, but I can't pronounce the word. It's too tricky. So if you are a family and you are traveling to Southeast Asia, I would definitely recommend looking around and not being as rushed as we were. We also had to give details out to the kids' schools, so we had to get addresses ready for them before they leave school, which is tomorrow. So that is why we've had to kind of rush this first leg of our journey. We wanted to stay in areas that we were aware of, that we've watched other vloggers go to, and just had a little bit more of grounded experience where we're not thrown into somewhere where we have no idea where we're going, especially as very first time travelers with children. We wanted to be accessible to shopping areas just in case what we'd packed wasn't sufficient enough for our trip. We also wanted to be close to being able to either extend our visa or do things like that, get pesos available, things like that. And I know those things you can do in a lot of the islands, but we are really new to this, so we wanted to just be safe and careful and make sure we're doing everything comfortably within our comfort range, because this is very outside of our comfort zone. And we wanted to just make sure that we weren't throwing ourselves into the deep end. There are a lot of places that say that they can accommodate a large amount of people, and then when you read the beds, it was like 1 or 2 beds, which obviously means that we would all have to share a double bed between like 5 of us. We looked at one which was like a queen size bed and a sofa bed, and there's 5 of us, so I mean we could have probably made that work, but it just wasn't worth the hassle. And for our first week we just wanted to be comfortable, and just maybe this will probably be the most luxurious stay we actually end up paying out for.
And I also think, well, you look at reviews as well.
Yeah.
And this one kept on saying it was family friendly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
I think
another thing.
what it appealed to me was it said family friendly. We wanted sort of a hotel type of stay. This has got a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's got a kids park. It's close to a couple malls. It's not too expensive, so I think that's why this appealed to us more.
Yeah.
Than others.
Yeah, we've got to like be really careful. We have children. Like this is the big difference in watching a lot of vloggers that do turn up to the Philippines as couples or as solo travelers, and also being a family of not like 2 or 1 child, which is a lot simpler and a lot more manageable. But we have 3 kids, and they have quite a diverse age range as well, between 10 and 4. So that is quite tricky to try and find things that everybody needs, that's at a good price as well. I think for the second leg of our journey we are definitely going to go to an island. We aren't sure just yet. We had Palawan at the top of our list, but we know that that is very expensive now at the moment. So we are going to try and find maybe a similar vibe but slightly closer or slightly different. And we also don't know whether we're going to Airbnb it or we're going to just turn up and try and find someone that's renting a place. We know that works for a lot of people, but that requires us to be a little bit more a little bit more on our toes and aware of bargaining and finding these people out that have accommodation available for a big family like us.
Although this is the first accommodation, it's going to be slightly more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's around £32 a night at the moment, I think, roughly. Yeah. Which isn't too bad.
Compared to UK prices, it's not bad, is it?
So I think it was like £230–40 to have 6 nights.
Yeah.
But going forward, I think we need to look at either weekly or monthly.
Yeah. Or like I said, trying to find somebody that's got a place to rent, and then you can kind of barter your way.
So
to a
I
price
think
that you're
we
happy
were
with.
looking at around £300–400 a month.
Yeah, maximum to stay.
But the problem is, I think although we're starting in Manila, we don't know which way to go from there. So it's either going to Palawan and experience that, or going to Boracay, Iloy, or Romblon, that area. So it's, do we just choose there, or do we go to Manila, see what we do? We might like Manila, we might say we want to be there for next month.
Yeah.
And then the second part of our visa, when we hopefully apply for a visa to stay longer, then we might decide to go to another area.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one. Do we want to bounce as quickly as other travellers do?
Yeah, we definitely want to take it a lot slower, or we've got the option to bounce around. But I think me and you both agreed that it's probably not financially viable with 3 children to travel consistently to every island as much as possible, as quick as possible.
And then it's how slow is too slow, or
yeah,
because it's such a big area 7,000 islands.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there and not see
everything, or as much as you want to. Yeah. But also you don't want to miss what the island or the area you choose has got to offer that maybe a lot of tourists would miss, or they wouldn't kind of stick around long enough to see or be around. We have two kind of options at this point in our life, that either the Philippines is the right place for us and we fall in love and we just work really hard to stay, or we end up just loving the idea of traveling and we love Southeast Asia and we just kind of hop around a bit quicker than what we would do if we decided to stay, and we actually end up being more kind of travel-y, like full-time travelers, sorry. Or we've got the option obviously to stay. So they're kind of, that's what we're feeling out, but it just depends on how we feel about the country itself, how accommodating it is. We've heard so many amazing things about the Philippines, about the people, about the community, and that is what we are desperately in need of. It's what we've wanted the whole time.
That's the attraction. It's
definitely Kev's biggest point of the country. He met a couple of people back a few years ago that he worked with. Shout out to
Mario and
June. And they just got us excited about the Philippines. We were going to do it for our honeymoon back in 2019. We started watching the Juicy vlog. We know Double and Travel have just been there recently. We've watched 8 Miles From Home, who kind of reside there now. We've watched Becoming Filipino. That's like goals. We've watched everybody you could think of. We watched Ash and Kells when they went there. We've watched Sunkissed Bucket List, some of our favourite like YouTubers now. We've watched all these people experience it, and we've been sitting here for 3 or 4 years pre-pandemic wanting to go to the Philippines for our honeymoon, or just to vacation there, or even just to kind of think about something more. We've then changed our plans multiple times. As you've seen on this channel, we were not in a place of making a solid decision. We then had pandemic. We then moved to our parents, and we still were kind of feeling out ideas, weren't sure what we were going to do. We were looking at van life, and now we've kind of come all the way back full circle to the Philippines. It is just calling our name. So hopefully it's our place. Hopefully it's where we were always meant to be. But until we know that, I feel like where we travel to and how quickly we travel is going to be the biggest question, because we don't know how to do this at all. We are very, very naive travellers. We just don't know. We've never done this. We drove to the Barcelona once, and that was as travelly as I've been, and we loved it, but this is definitely a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
What is this?
I forgot. That's like a, I don't use. Oh, this is the piece I like. Do you like that?
Good morning, and it is a rainy car boot sale today. I'll show you that with. It is dead, but we've sold quite a few stuff, and this is all we have now to get rid of. It's crazy. Not that much to go. How's it going?
Good. Sold a couple of things.
Are you enjoying boot sailing?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to jump on here quickly on my own and just kind of talk through things with you guys of where I'm at the moment. It's been a few days since we booked our accommodation, and we have been going over our route, which we will discuss with you further on in the video. But I just wanted to sit down and just kind of unleash some emotion, and I'm not feeling that great. I think I've realised at the moment I'm hitting a lot of discomfort and worry, and I'm just so nervous, and I don't feel like I'm ready. But I know if I don't do this, the choices we have at the moment are really limited. So this isn't like because it's an only option situation. It's something we've really wanted to do, but it is really overwhelming. We're first time travellers. The only thing we've ever done is drive to Barcelona, which I loved, and we went to Scotland last year, and that went really well. But this just seems like a whole different level, and we're planning on potentially making this country our home eventually, if it turns out that we love it as much as we think we're going to love it. And all that sort of stuff that comes with it is just like, I'm thinking like a year ahead already, and I'm just super nervous and worried, and I'm just really overwhelmed. Kev keeps discussing all the plans with me, and I just don't want to hear about it, and I don't want to watch any more about it, and I just don't want to keep going over it. And I think this is hopefully quite normal, and I wanted to kind of put it out there because I feel like channels that are really upbeat and like happy and all that kind of stuff is really great. Like I love the fact that people are really excited about travel, and they're really it seems really easy to them, but for me it's like a massive step, and it means quite a lot. It's everything to us, and I feel like because it's everything that I'm actually putting it quite highly up, and I don't know what I would do if it doesn't work. So that's kind of my check-in on this video of how I'm feeling anyway. Everybody else seems to be really fine. They seem to be like really comfortable and happy, and the kids are really, really excited. But I think mummy's just, mummy's very nervous, and I'm just really overwhelmed. I wish I had someone to talk to about it. It's really difficult, but I just want it so badly. I think that I'm just making it harder for myself to really just let go and enjoy the process. That's why I keep getting spots. Stress spots. I broke out the other day in complete hives and acne and God knows what else. And I'm not even an acne person. It's just stress. So stressed.
Morning.
Morning.
Ready for the last boot sale?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mm.
So this is all that we have left in the house. So not too much. So it's just clothes, TV stand, coats, bits and bobs, some books, Becca's pants, the Z bed, skateboard. Busier than last week. How do we do? And that's the last of the car boot sales. We've done 4 in total. Me and Harry have been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, mainly being there till 11 o'clock. We made £237.25p. It was fun. Mostly the 3 out of the 4 boot sales really, really hot. One, it was drizzling of rain, so not many people turned up. So I'm quite happy on how much we received doing that. And also it shifted a lot of stuff that would have just gone to waste by the recycling centre, gone to charity shops. So with this money we'll be exchanging it for Filipino pesos, and that'll be going towards our first week in the Philippines.